This is All of It on WNYC. I'm Allison Stewart. As we talk about books by Black authors to kick off our Black History Month coverage, we turn next to a debut author and a former colleague. For almost 30 years, Brenda Williams was a very familiar face in the New York public radio hallways. Brenda was our chief diversity officer. She moved on to her next chapter last year, and that next chapter includes a new children's book. The book is called Worthy and Wonderful, a celebration of girls who matter. It features 4 young girls inspired by Brenda's real-life granddaughters. The book is out today, and Brenda Williams is my guest right now. Brenda, it is so good to speak with you again.
Allison, it is so great to speak with you as well. I am grateful that you are having me. Thank you.
What do you remember about when you had the idea for this book?
My granddaughters was really the inspiration, and it took me back to when I was a young girl as well. So I remember about a year and a half, almost 2 years ago, I had the idea for a book. Didn't know exactly what it would be, but then that inspiration from my granddaughters took me to exactly what I knew I wanted to write, and that was a children's book, inspired and dedicated to them.
How did they react when they learned Grandma's writing a book about us?
It's so funny because I did not tell them until they came to a small book signing that I did locally. And when I tell you, they were thrilled. My 22-year-old granddaughter kept saying, tell me. I did not. It was a surprise, and they loved the surprise. They were excited.
How did they each uniquely inspire some part of the book?
Each granddaughter of mine have their own personalities, are in different stages of life. My 22-year-old lives in Raleigh, North Carolina. She's starting her life out. She's empowered to do so many great things. My 9-year-old granddaughter is just inquisitive, smart, bright, talented, athletic. Then I have my twin granddaughters who are 5, Dolly and Dior. So it's Kayla, 22, Demi, 9, Dolly and Dior, the twins. And everything is curiosity for them. So they're in different stages,
So this book is a celebration of girls. Why was this a sentiment that you wanted to focus on for your first book?
I was inspired because as a little girl, I was that little girl, the one who needed reminders that she mattered, that her voice belonged in every room, and that her dreams were valid. So it's what I want them to carry and know. So I wanted to create something that pours love, affirmation, and possibility into girls early, so they know growing up their worth, and to make sure that they always know their worth comes from who they are and not what they achieve.
My guest is Brenda Williams, author of the new children's book, Worthy and Wonderful, a celebration of girls who matter. Would you read a little bit of your book for us?
Sure. So I'm going to go to page 24 in the book.
Okay.
And in this page, it says, in the world of Kayla, Demi, Dollar, and Dior, Black girl magic was everywhere. Kindness was cool, dreaming big was powerful, and each little girl knew and could say, I am worthy, I am wonderful, I matter. Then it goes on to say, as the girls drifted off to sleep, they felt safe, happy, and loved. They knew tomorrow would bring a new adventure. They belonged to each other, to themselves, and to a world waiting to hear their happy voices. And finally, it says, you can feel worthy and wonderful too. Start by saying kind words to yourself every day. Your words have power. Your words have life. Your heart has light. Now it's your turn. Try saying these aloud. I am enough just as I am. I am beautiful inside out. I am strong, smart, and brave.
That was Brenda Williams reading from her book, Worthy and Wonderful, a celebration of girls who matter. It's interesting because at the end of the book, there's sort of a do-it-yourself section. You can get the girls involved. What do you ask them to do?
I asked them to write their own words of encouragement, find their own way, right? Based on practice. So it's an affirmation chant that I share with them. And then I say, do your own. So this book is a activity book, a book that they can keep. It's a keepsake. It's one where they can be actively involved. So there's 2 activity pages. And I asked them to write 3 kind words about themselves. What makes them smile? What makes them proud? And what reminds them that they matter?
The illustrations in the book are beautiful. Who's the
Mm.
illustrator, and what did
Um,
you tell her about how you wanted the book to look?
Absolutely. The illustrator, and I want to shout her out, Kai Samuels Jackson. I've known Kai's parents for years. I worked side by side with her father, Maxie Jackson. You may remember him as well.
Sure, sure.
Well, yeah, and her mother and I worked together too. She's my holistic therapist. So when I learned their daughter was an illustrator, I knew I wanted to collaborate with an emerging artist. And Kai captured my vision beautifully. It was really important to me to have a real illustrator and not AI. She got each girl right. We worked a little more on my older granddaughter, but we got her right. And I've heard such beautiful sentiments from people like, they represent me, they look like me, their hair, their color. So it's just been amazing that Kai was able to capture exactly what I needed for these illustrations.
Yeah, it's a really important part of books, especially children's books, seeing yourself, your
Yeah.
characters, they're all different hues. And my favorite part, when the girls are going to bed, they're wearing bonnets, which you don't
Yes,
get to see that often.
absolutely.
What is representation? Why does it matter in a children's book?
To feel seen is very important. And again, I've heard from people that gotten this book that reacted to this book. I see myself. I posted a video of a young girl who had my book, and she says, "Oh my God, the little girl looks like me. She has hair like me." That's important. It's important to start young and go all the way through your life seeing this representation. It encourages you, it inspires you, it keeps you going, knowing you're not alone. There are people like you, look like you, talk like you, and are like you, and they are succeeding. So it's very important representation, very important.
My guest is Brenda Williams, author of the new children's book, Worthy and Wonderful, a celebration of girls who matter. Before her career as an author, Brenda was a longtime executive here at WNYC and our chief diversity officer. And I have to ask you, since you left New York Public Radio, it is around the time that diversity initiatives at work and
Mhm.
everyday life were under threat from the federal government. What would you
Yeah.
say to someone who doesn't believe that diversity matters in the workplace?
Diversity does matter. Representation, we just talked about, matter. Equity matters. And before I retired, this was all happening. And we're not giving up on this. This is
Yeah.
important. So we won't stop talking about it. We call it what you want. This work needs to continue to happen. And that's been the conversation. We had conversations where we convened with other DEI leaders and adjacent people in adjacent roles. And we know that a lot of what's happening now with unemployment, with Black women in particular, it's not accidental.
Yeah.
It's systemic. So charge on is my message.
Brenda Williams is the author of the new children's book, Worthy and Wonderful, a celebration of girls who matter. Thank you so much for being with us, Brenda.
Thank you.